Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone is having a great day. Today I'm bringing you a delicious dessert called Better Than Sex Cake, and it's made from a box of chocolate cake mix, but I'm using homemade whipped cream and candied pecans, and I'm just going to make it a little bit different. So please follow along, like, and subscribe for more delicious recipes. Now let's get baking. Okay, so I have one of my favorites that I picked, the triple chocolate fudge, but you can use whatever chocolate cake mix you like. So you just take your box cake mix and mix it and bake it with the directions on the box. So here's my bag of cake mix. I got 3 eggs, 1 cup of water, half a cup of vegetable oil, a little bit of vanilla, and then you're gonna mix this on a medium speed for about 2 minutes. So I'm making my recipe a little different today. I'm not using candy bars or Cool Whip or canned whipped cream. I'm going to be making my own whipped cream from scratch, and I'm going to be candying my own pecans. So now that it's been about 2 minutes, let's clean this up. So now that your cake is mixed, I'm using a non-stick 13 by 9 pan. If you use an aluminum or dark pan, you need to grease the sides. Pour in your batter, even it out a little bit, and bake to the box instructions about 28 to 33 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. Okay, so now you're going to take your sweetened condensed milk. It's supposed to be 12 ounces, but I'm using a 14-ounce can. Now that I have got my sweetened condensed milk out of the can, you want to add your 12-ounce jar of caramel sauce. And I'm going to save just a little bit to drizzle over the cake. Mix these together until combined and warm. We are going to remove the cake. And now you take a fork and you're going to poke holes all over. You could use a knife and put slices in it too. And then you're going to take your sweetened condensed milk and caramel and you're going to pour it all over. And now you're going to let this cool completely, and you're going to let the caramel sauce absorb into the cake. Okay, so I'm going to make some candied pecans now, and you're going to take a cup of packed brown sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, and a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. You could also add a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice if you'd like. I don't have any, so I'm going without it. I'm adding a little bit of vanilla bean paste, 3 tablespoons of water. So after you add those ingredients, mix them together just to get them mixed in. You're going to turn your heat on and you're going to get this to boiling, like a rolling boil. You want to get it to 300 degrees for a hard crack on the sugar coating. Just let it hang out and bubble, 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 bubble. And then you're going to come over and you're going to add your pecans. I got about a cup. You could use a little more if you'd like. Just cover that for a few. I want to get this to a higher temp because it needs to be 300 degrees, so I'm going to switch a burner real quick. You got to take them out of the pan with a fork, and you let these cool. And if you did it right, they should have a hard candy shell on top. If you didn't do it right, they'll end up being gooey. Okay, so now that the cake is cooled, we're going to make our whipped cream. So you're going to beat this until it gets frothy. Okay, we are frothy. I'm adding 2 teaspoons of vanilla and 2 tablespoons or a little more of confectioner's sugar. Now you're going to beat this until stiff peaks. That's looking pretty good there. Let's give it a little taste. I'm adding a total of 3 tablespoons of confectioner sugar. Okay, so my candied pecans didn't turn out exactly correct. They're all sticky, they're not rock solid, but they'll still work for the recipe. So I put them in the freezer to get them a little hard and more manageable, and just sprinkle them all over the cake. Then on top of that, I am going to spread the whipped cream. And then on top of that, I'm going to sprinkle some dark chocolate bits. The remaining nuts, however much you have left. And last but not least, more caramel syrup. Better than sex cake. Okay, so let's plate this up now and see what we have. My version of better than sex cake. This is delish. Make this. It's bomb. I made a few mistakes and it turned out great. Like, subscribe, and follow along for more delicious recipes. And as always, the ingredients will be listed below. And if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to message me. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.